Now we're logged into the customer portal, let's take a look around. So at the top of the page we've got alerts. Here we've got reminders that no authentication's been set, that the mobile isn't verified and that the emails aren't verified. Now one quite cool thing that we can do in Connex is we can make it so if they haven't verified their mobile or they haven't verified their email, they're not allowed to dial. This is really useful for compliance purposes. So the other things that we've got at the top of the screen, aside from the time, the time is automatically uses whatever their browser zone is, but we can change that if they want to, say, view the time from UTC perspective. And this is relevant to the records that are displayed on the page. So we can see here that there's no active channels. We've actually got a negative balance at the moment. They can change the language selector, and they can go in here and change their profile. If they go to change their profile, we've got a couple of options. We can see that they're allowed to change their name, their department, their phone number, their mobile number. They can enter their Skype number. And let's have a little look at the left menu. So before we've seen the dashboard, that's what this one is. If we go into CDR, we haven't got any records in here, but this is where all of the CDR records will appear. And they can click on the date selector and select whichever date that they wish, or they can search by an individual number. We can select connected calls only, and this is all available to download. If we want to change the fields that are selected, we can click here and we can choose which fields we want to select. Now these fields as well, if we don't want the customer to be able to see the source IP, you can change that, but you'll have to check out the last video on that one. In the breakout report, we can summarize the dialing destinations, and you can get a high level report of where the traffic's been going to. In the authentication section, we've already got 2 authentications set in here. So we can look at what we've got. We've got an IP address set, we've got channels and flow speed. Now, you may wish to limit a customer's channels. Don't worry, that's limited on the customer itself, not on the individual switch. If we go into advanced, we see that we've got a couple of other sections. We can enter some other things to do with which direction the calls are going in, which protocols we're using, etc. The customer can also set up their own SIP user authentication, so if they wanted to add their own agents, similar settings to before, we've got all of those ones in here. The customer can see what DIDs they've got in the system. They can see what CLIs they're allowed to dial from. Now another cool thing in here is you can set it up in the control panel that if you want the customer to be able to add their own CLIs, they can do that. And when they do, it does a callback, it rings that customer's CLI and verifies that it's valid before they're allowed to use it. Latest calls is a quicker way of just seeing exactly which calls are coming into the system. PBX as part of the Class 5 suite. So in here the customer can set up their own conference bridges, set up their own IVR messages, so interactive voice replies, hello, please press 1 for sales, 2 for support, etc. We can set up groups. So a group would be when a call comes in for it to ring, say, 5 phones at the same time or ring them sequentially. We can set up queues, which is a rudimentary call center application. So calls come in, they get queued up, they'll be able to listen to on-hold music, and then they'll be able to be delivered to a set of phones. We've got audios here, so we've got no files at the moment, but you'll be able to upload whichever files that you wish, and those files can then be used in, say for example, the queues or in the IVR messages. In contracts, the customer will be able to see what contracts are set up and what they need to approve, and if they don't approve the contract, the account can be locked automatically. We've got certain documents, for example, if you needed to upload something for proof of ownership of a CLI number, we can do that here. Or if you wanted proof of identity as well, we can create a request in the control panel. It will appear here for the customer, and then the customer can upload that data. We've got data management. So the Connex system is very flexible. It allows you to build databases for any purposes. A typical purpose may be your customer may wish to have a DNC, a do not call list. You can set up the DNC list in the control panel that's unique per this customer, and you can add that in here. There's lots of other purposes that this can be used for, but this is an arbitrary data store. You can make what you want with it. In payments, the customer can see what payments they've made, and they've also got an option to make a payment. From here, there's different options such as PayPal, Stripe, and there's other various ones that you can select from the control panel. You can also choose which currencies you wish to accept. We can check out the packages, what packages are set against this account. We can see what routes we've got set up. Now we have got the capability of adding a list of routes, and the customer can come in here, choose whichever route they want to be selected, and at the moment we haven't got any set up. They can add their own tech prefix and a couple of options, click on save, and then they've just added the route to the system themselves. This is really good if you've got a routing portfolio of many cards and you wish the customer to be able to select exactly which cards they want to use. It also gives customers limited control over routing changes. We've got a status page in here. Here we've got platform updates that Connex will push out automatically for the customer to see. Also, this gives you an opportunity to provide status updates to your customer as well. So if you wanted to tell your customer about a particular route or a particular destination, or even just some hardware that you've got that sits behind Connex, this is where you could tell your customer the status of that hardware. Then we can go down to the interconnect section. In here we'd have a list of servers and a list of interconnect information. We've got address information. If you have got RTP servers ticked, you can see where the Connex RTP servers are, and this is very useful for your customers to be able to see where's the best place for them to connect to. That's a simple tour of the end customer control panel. I hope you found it useful. If there's anything else that you need, just let us know.